Before the story even begins, let me ask you something real quick. Have you ever done one small act of kindness, thinking it meant nothing, only to have it change your life forever? If stories that hit your heart matter to you, take a second to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and stay with me till the end, because what happened that night is something I'll never forget, and I promise, neither will you. I never planned on staying late that Friday. It had been one of those weeks where everything felt heavy, deadlines piling up, bills waiting at home, and that quiet exhaustion that doesn't go away with sleep. The office was almost empty when I finally shut down my computer, except for one voice echoing down the hallway. Slurred. Loud. Laughing a little too hard. It was Mark from accounting. Everyone knew Mark, the guy who never missed happy hour, the guy who joked his way through meetings, the guy who said he had things under control. But that night, he clearly didn't. I found him sitting on the steps outside the building, head in his hands, suit wrinkled, tie loosened, phone face down beside him. When he looked up, his eyes were glassy and unfocused. He tried to stand and nearly fell. I remember hesitating, just for a second. Part of me thought, not my problem. Another part thought about my dad, who used to drink when life got hard, and how badly I wished someone had helped him instead of judging him. So I picked up Mark's phone, asked for his address, and told him I'd drive him home. The car ride was quiet at first. The city lights blurred past the windows while Mark stared straight ahead, jaw clenched. Then, without warning, he started talking. About work stress. About feeling like he was failing at everything that mattered. About how his wife barely looked at him anymore. His words weren't dramatic, just tired. Raw. The kind of honesty that only comes out when someone has been holding it in too long. I didn't interrupt. I just listened, my hands steady on the wheel, my heart heavier with every block we passed. When we pulled up to his house, the porch light was on. A small, neat home in a quiet neighborhood. Mark suddenly looked terrified. "She's going to hate me," he muttered. I helped him to the door anyway. Before he could knock, it opened. His wife stood there barefoot, hair pulled back, worry written all over her face. She didn't yell. She didn't cry. She just looked at him, then at me. "Thank you for bringing him home," she said softly. I nodded, awkward, ready to leave as fast as possible. But then Mark stumbled inside, nearly collapsing, and she caught him like she'd done it 100 times before. I heard her whisper his name, not angry, just sad. That sound followed me all the way back to my car. I thought that was the end of it. It wasn't. The next morning, I woke up to a long message from an unknown number. It was Mark's wife. She apologized for texting so early, then said something that stopped me cold. She said last night could have ended very differently. That Mark had been driving himself to bars lately, hiding how bad things had gotten. That me stepping in might have saved his life or someone else's. I sat on my bed reading that message over and over, feeling a weight settle in my chest I hadn't expected. A few days later, she asked if we could talk. I almost said no. I didn't want to get involved. But something told me to say yes. We met at a small cafe near their house. She looked tired, but strong in that quiet way people get when they've been fighting for a long time. She told me about their marriage, how they'd been high school sweethearts, how Mark used to be full of dreams, how stress and disappointment slowly turned into drinking. She admitted she was scared. Not just of losing him, but of losing herself trying to save him alone. Then she did something I wasn't expecting. She thanked me, not with money, not with praise, but by trusting me with the truth. She said my kindness reminded her that people still cared, that Mark wasn't invisible, that help could come from unexpected places. And then she asked me to be honest with Mark if he ever tried to joke his way out of his problems again at work. That conversation changed everything. Mark came back to the office quieter. More serious. One afternoon, he stopped by my desk and said thank you. Really thank you. Not the casual kind, but the kind where someone looks you in the eye and you can see they mean it. He told me he'd started therapy. That he'd cut back on drinking. That his wife had given him one more chance, not because he deserved it, but because she believed people could change when someone finally saw them. Months passed. Life moved on. Work stayed busy. But every now and then, I'd notice small things. Mark leaving early instead of staying for drinks. Mark smiling more, not the forced kind. Mark talking about cooking dinner with his wife, about rebuilding trust one day at a time. And then, one evening, I got a handwritten card in the mail. Inside, his wife had written that Mark had reached 6 months sober. That they were learning how to talk again. That the night I dropped him home had become a turning point in their story. She ended the note with a line I still think about: "You reminded us that kindness doesn't have to be loud to be life-changing." I keep that card in my drawer. Because here's the truth, none of us know what someone else is carrying. We pass coworkers in hallways, laugh at their jokes, roll our eyes at their flaws, never realizing how close they might be to breaking. I didn't do anything heroic that night. I didn't fix Mark. I didn't save his marriage. I just chose not to walk away. And sometimes, that's enough. So if you're watching this and wondering whether small acts matter, whether showing up for someone is worth the effort, let this be your sign. Hold the door. Make the call. Give the ride. Listen without judging. You never know who might thank you in a way you'll never forget. If this story moved you even a little, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs a reminder that kindness still exists. Sometimes, one simple choice can change a life, maybe even your own.